Hi, Peter. Um, uh, I've marked your work. Um, I think that you're doing really well, but there are a few mistakes that you're making, so I've corrected those. And I also wanted you to just know some more phrases you can use where you seem to be a little bit confused or you may not know some. So I've changed those as well. So what I've done is I have made the corrections, and at the end I've actually rewritten it here um, correctly. I mean, it's how I've written it. It could be slightly different if someone else had done it, but there it is for you. So I thought I'd go through here just very quickly the changes I've made. Now, the first thing is you said different of salary. Different is an adjective. And because this is just a noun phrase, it's a name, or it's just doing the job of naming something, you have to say difference. So it should say difference. Now, also, because we're talking about not just one salary, we're talking about a few, I think it's probably better if you say differences in salaries. So you're using what we call plurals. So I'm sure you know the word plural, which means more than one. First of all, you said we are living in the time. Well, we don't really say that. You could, but it's probably better to be simple and say currently, because currently means now, and it's a more concise way of saying something. So currently, where we can find that, no. We're not going to say where we can find that. We're going to say currently, some people have vast payment. Now, have vast payment, we wouldn't use the word have, because with payment, you receive or you earn. So some people earn vast salaries, or some people receive vast payments. Now, payments and salaries are not the same. So I think it's probably better if we say salaries. On the other hand, now you say on the other side, this is a good contrasting phrase, but we say on the other hand. And on the other hand, there is a really important group of people that don't receive an appropriate salary. Now, Peter, this is very common that people make mistakes with these little articles like a and an, and you just need to practice using them in your speech as well as your writing. Moreover is a great word to use, but it starts a new sentence. So you have moreover, and then you have a comma. Moreover, they hold a serious and responsible job, or they have a serious and responsible job. The question, you said question, it's the question of what constitutes or what is, question of what is a suitable or appropriate payment for every occupation is interesting. Now, I wouldn't say interested because this is the difference between interested and interesting. I am interested. That is interesting. But we can find a huge difference in it. No, I think it's better to say because there are huge disparities or because there are huge differences. So I've gone here and rewritten it. So let's have a look here. Differences in salaries. Currently, that should have a comma. Some people earn vast salaries. On the other hand, comma, there is a really important group of people that don't receive an appropriate salary. Moreover, that's a new sentence, comma, they hold a serious and responsible job. The question of what constitutes or makes, another word you could use here is makes, an appropriate payment for an occupation is an interesting topic for debate. Now, that debate is something we talk about because there are huge disparities or because there are huge differences. Now, the second paragraph of yours was about a superstar. Be superstar. You must use, because this is a noun and it's the beginning of the sentence, the subject of the sentence. It's a noun. We don't say be a superstar. We say being a superstar, such as an actor, musician, sportsman, or similar in entertainment industry. Now, I thought it's better to say being a superstar, and then we're going to go here, whether an actor or musician in the entertainment industry or a famous sportsman, because a sportsman's not in the entertainment industry, so we have to have them separate, is not easy. On the first look, that's not correct. You say on first glance, that looks. No, we say on first glance, it. Because that is just one thing that we're talking about, that. But we're talking about all of this, so it's it. It looks such as, it seems, or it appears. It looks such as is what you're wanting to say is seems or appears. An easy luxury life. Luxury is a noun. Luxurious is the adjective. It appears an easy, luxurious life. Now we need a contrasting phrase because we're talking about something that's the opposite or different. So we're going to use however. However, to achieve their goal, a great competition, you said, must be beaten. No. However, to achieve their goal, competitors, great competitors, maybe people, must be beaten. And finally, and finally, when they win and become the best in their area, they start receiving a huge payment. Now, and finally, when they win, because we're talking about something that's always true, so we don't use past, we use present simple. When they win and become the best in their area, or we can say their discipline, that's a better way of saying it, it's their discipline, they start receiving a huge payment. If we're looking in way, what you want to say is, if we consider what they need to do to be in the top position, on the top position, no, on top I think you'd say, or in the top position, then a high salary, not everything, is deserved. However, now we're using however again, or you could say on the other hand, if we compare their responsibilities, more than one, to other people, or if we compare the responsibilities to some other important and more responsible jobs, then these high earnings seem inequitable, which means unfair, not right. So I'll go and have a look here what I said for you. Being a superstar, whether an actor or musician in the entertainment industry or a famous sportsman, is not easy. On first glance, it looks such an easy, luxurious life. However, to achieve their goal, great competitors must be beaten. And finally, when they win and become the best in their discipline, they start receiving a huge payment. If we consider what they need to do to be on top, then a high salary is well deserved. We usually say well deserved. However, if we compare their responsibilities to some other important and more responsible jobs, then these high earnings seem inequitable. Seems or appear. It should say seem, sorry, not seems, because that's singular. High earnings, plural, must have seem. Then you're going to be talking for some examples. Now, what I've done is kind of rewritten it here because it's not wrong what you've said. I just think that it isn't really very well expressed. And so I thought you could probably work it a little bit better. So what I've done is I've said, now I think this is something you could learn, which is quite a good expression. Consider, for example. Consider, for example, important occupations such as doctors, teachers, policemen, firemen that help and protect people. These people's actions and decisions often have long-term, that means lifelong, repercussions is another word for effects. It's another word for effects. For the lives of other people, and in some cases they have to make life and death decisions in high-stress situations, and they cannot afford to make mistakes. I played around a bit with your words here, Peter. I mean, it wasn't wrong what you said, but I thought what I'd do is give you some things that have been expressed a bit differently, and then you could maybe just learn some new things. So I changed that a bit. And then I gave the example. For example, if a doctor doesn't give the right therapy, someone could die. Or if a teacher doesn't provide the right tuition and supports a child learning, so support, a child's learning can be severely impacted. Or you probably would say could, because it's a possible thing. It's a possibility, so we use could. So now when we came to your conclusion was good because you said you had the right idea, and you sort of talked about that you thought that they needed to be filled and better paid for the future. But sometimes what's quite good to do is to leave the reader, when you do your conclusion, to kind of make them think about something and to talk about the impact on the future. So your summary at the beginning was right. As can be seen from this text, there is a vast disproportion difference between salaries and responsibilities. In my opinion, that's great, you're giving your opinion, people who hold responsible jobs should receive higher salaries. Then, I think this is where you've made your opinion, and then you need to talk a little bit more about the future. This is an issue. Now, you can use that quite a lot. You can use that for other things as well. This is an issue that should be taken more seriously by government in order to ensure a fairer society. And then you could say, unless something happens, unless these occupations are better rewarded or better paid, we will struggle to fill these important positions in the future. So you're sort of looking at the future impact, and that's quite a good way to finish when you do this kind of writing. So overall, I think you're doing really well. I think you were correct when you said that there's some expressions that you're not really sure on. So there's some new ones here for you, or ones that just I'm reminding you about. The words currently, on the other hand, these are all really good. Moreover, was really good. The question of what constitutes is something that you can learn. Another thing is on first glance. However, another good one for you to learn. If we consider what, another good one for you to learn. If we compare, I think that might have been your one, but that was quite a good one too. Consider, for example, as can be clearly seen from, I think that was your one as well. Unless. So there's some really good connectors that you could learn. Also probably some new words, like the word disparity. You need to be considering, just remember to think about your singular and plural, whether you're talking about one or more than one. Don't forget to think about what's the word form. So